Hello, world. Travis Pangburn here. The Dublin event is now uploaded on our Patreon account. So that's patreon.com/Pangburn. That's Pangburn. And the London event will be uploaded soon. So you can catch the Dublin event now. Hey, Carlos. And yeah, I think you guys are going to be thrilled with those events. Yeah, and I thought I would come on and do a bit of a Q&A again if anyone's interested. If not, I will keep it short. The Vancouver events featuring Sam Harris, Jordan Peterson, and Brett Weinstein are now available on our YouTube channel. Hey, CS, the Vancouver events are now free on the channel. The Dublin and London events will be behind our Patreon paywall until we reach the point that we can release them to the rest of the world. So if anyone's feeling like they want to support this content, you can go to patreon.com/Pangburn, and the Dublin event is there ripe for the picking. And that's at the $10 plus model. And check out all of our rewards on our Patreon account, because there's some awesome ones. Once you start getting to the $50 and $100 level, you start getting to the free ticket for every event. Also, there's the top model, the Pangburn Philosopher model, gets you backstage access for the events, backstage tour. So yeah, those are I think they're pretty good rewards if you're someone that frequents our events or you like to travel. Yeah, it's a good deal because you get that free premium ticket per event. Yeah, so what else is new? New event to announce soon here. It's another New York City event. We will be announcing very soon. We're working on the creative for that right now. Should I say who it involves? Sure. No, actually, I shouldn't. I should wait. But it's pretty exciting. That one will be filmed. You guys will see all the creative and advertising come out soon. And yeah, I've seen a few comments about the Vancouver content that I can address. Are there any, let's see, Shade Murphy, are there any changes that Pangburn plans on implementing in response to some of the criticisms about the timing for dropping of the videos, not attempting to be critical? Yeah, no, that's a fair question. We've in the last Q&A that I did, you might want to check that out, but I did address this. But I will say quickly that we do take all this criticism seriously, and we want to get to a place where we can, you know, not lose our ass on every event financially, and we just want to make sure we're sustainable and we can keep this going. And the Patreon model, the paywall model, seems to be necessary right now for us to be able to do that. But I think the more support we can get on that model on Patreon, the quicker we're going to be able to deliver the video content of events to you guys. But it's not, one thing I did explain in the last Q&A, it's not guaranteed that we will be able to film every event, or even yeah, as far as some authors and some speakers don't allow filming of their live events. So I try to work it into every contract. There's a lot of speakers that won't work with me because I want to film and get the content out to everyone. So yeah, I really hope more and more people support us on Patreon, or in any way they can, even sharing our videos if you can't afford to the $1 level or whatever level you can come in at on Patreon. But eventually all of our content becomes free to the world. I guess the better, the more support we get, the quicker we can make this happen. And I don't just want to give the content away right away and not make any money off it and make this not sustainable so that we're not able to do these events anymore, because I think everyone wants to see these events happen. But yes, we really take the any criticism seriously. Hello, Omi. And yeah, we're working on it. I was about to mention that the Vancouver event footage, like whenever we go into a city, we basically hire what the venue recommends for live filming and audio capture. And a lot of times I'm like, when I see the content in the end, I'm like, uh, it's it's okay. I mean, it's I'm able to watch it and listen to it, but I wish the quality was better. But sometimes we're at the mercy of who's recommended by the venue, and sometimes the venues have deals in place where we have to use the people that they hire. And then when we get the content, and if we don't like it, if we don't like the quality and complain, they're basically just like, well, I mean, submit your complaint to this email. So yeah, we try to get the best quality cameras and everything that we can for the events. But yeah, we'll keep on keeping on, and the more we work with suppliers, the more we can try to avoid any bad content, at least the recording quality. Love the self actualization book. I'm in. Shade Murphy says, we want to be sustainable as well. Could there be an option for Patreon supporters to view a live stream of the events at ticket price? This is possible. It's that balance of we need people at the event. And what happens, like if you look at like the hockey live event model, sometimes in the cities, they're able to black out wherever the event's happening, they're able to black out the stream or the TV program, so people actually have to get up off their ass and go to the rink or find a an illegally streamed version somewhere. So we're working on different models. We've tried streaming in the past, and even though there seems to be this huge voice saying stream, 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 when we announce it and market it and put it out there, we tend to lose money on the stream itself because only a handful of people sign up for the stream when we were expecting thousands, and it never really works out. But I do want to try it again, and yeah, I in theory it should work, like kind of like a boxing event. We should be able to create a pay-per-view model. The problem with going to that model is that the reason why people get the pay-per-view and they pay so much money to go to the events is because they know they're not going to be able to find it anywhere else. It's like they police that shit online so thoroughly, and they have legal teams that take action on people who try to pirate their content. So we don't really have those resources to deter that kind of action. So we're kind of at the mercy of whatever our resources are right now. But our resources are growing thanks to all of you who are supporting us. Yeah, like an HBO event. Hey man, who's next on your lineup? Oh, we got lots coming up. We got Brett Weinstein, Richard Dawkins having an event in Chicago. I'm really looking forward to that. I actually think we could break some new grounds scientifically, at least the way we talk about evolution and perhaps the evolution of things like religiosity. I think is going to be a really interesting conversation between Brett and Richard. And that one is on unmoderated. I prefer unmoderated conversations. I wanted to have Brett involved in Vancouver because there was just so much uncertainty amongst all parties involved on how those conversations were going to go between Jordan and Sam. But of course, they ended up fantastic. Penguin, can you please answer me one question? Joe Murray. Okay, I'm going to go down to Joe. Oh, I don't think he... Just one, please. I was answering his question. Yeah, and if you go to penguinphilosophy.com, we have all of our upcoming events there. And like I said at the start of this live stream, I will be announcing a few more events quite soon here. Yeah, and for those of you who just signed in, if you want to check out the Dublin event with Sam Harris, Jordan Peterson, and Douglas Murray, you can go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Pangburn. That's PANGBURN, and it is now available to our $10 plus patrons. Jordan Peterson has them on his channel. Yes, Jordan has uploaded as well, and Sam will be uploading shortly here. There was some weird technical issue on their end that they are sorting out. Is it available to? I'm talking about the London ones. Oh yes, and the London event will be available shortly to our patrons as well. Would you like to co-host an event with my organization in London sometime? We've got some exciting ideas. Genuine request this. I can send you my details. Yes, Joe, please send your details to admin@penguinphilosophy.com. We want everyone. We want way more people to be producing these events. I don't care about, if all of a sudden there was companies that were doing this better than we can do, and we had to change our model to do something else. I mean, the Penguin philosophy is all about inspiring the world with artistic and scientific modes of inspiration. So if there was someone that came along and started doing the live event models or partnering with us so we could focus on other things as well, it's all about spreading this philosophy, and the live events, intellectual discourse is such a good way to do this. And this is why I'm spending so much time and investing so much money in this. Yeah, so Joe, just send us an email at admin@penguinphilosophy.com and say that you were involved in the live stream here, and that I mentioned that you should send in an email. London, Dublin, let's see. How do I become a patron in UK? Only get dollars, not pounds. I believe it just does the conversion for you when you sign up. And I think anyone can sign up for Patreon. Doesn't matter what currency you're dealing in. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm not a wizard on that kind of stuff, but well, I'm not a wizard anyway. But yeah, just try it out. You should be able to sign up. And if not, I'm sure there's something we can do. And if you are having problems, again, just send us an email at admin@penguinphilosophy.com, and we'll take care of you. Make sure you can access the content. Hey, Shade. Yeah, thanks for signing up. Really appreciate it. Solidarity, intellectual discourse. Yeah, I had an interesting interview this morning on a radio program. They really wanted to talk about free speech and what's going on in the world right now. And yeah, I think it's interesting to watch these new cultures of, well, PC cultures and outrage brigades, and people hoping to be offended. There's people going around hoping to be offended. This message is held for review. I'm going to show this message. It says, "Fuck you, Pangburn." I'm going to show it, and it's by Dot. That's severe anonymity, man. Middle finger, thumbs down. Will the event be posted? Will be streamed? If not, will it be posted sooner than the Vancouver debate? Maybe you're talking about Dawkins? Not sure. So can I see the London video by paying $10, or do I have to pay $10 every month? So you can sign up for Patreon as a $10 plus patron. And if you want to stay on because you're excited about the new content that's coming up, then I think you're free to do that, or you can actually cancel your Patreon subscription after you've viewed the content. Cheers, buddy. Gonna get ready for that binge I've been talking about. No sleep for me today. Enjoy the content. Travis, do you see many other companies popping up producing similar events to you? No, not really. I mean, Sam's been doing some, like, Sam works with Live Nation, Jordan works with Live Nation on kind of their tours, and Sam does his podcast live events. But I think the way that we do events is kind of unique. We throw some artistic elements at the events, and we always try to go big on the production quality and the production elements. And yeah, I think our events have a certain kind of feel, and we always want to give time for people to be able to access the speakers and try to get everyone who wants a book signed to get it signed. And this is kind of we're asking a lot of the speakers, more than any producers have in the past. But I just think it's so good for the fans and the people that really want to have access to the speakers. So I think we do some unique things at our Penguin Philosophy events, and there's more interesting things coming on the horizon that I think everyone's going to be very excited about. I'm going to be doing a video about new live event technologies and how we're going to make these live events kind of more interesting, kind of more like a show. But this is all about, this is all to do with, I think the conversations are a lot better when everyone's having fun, and that includes, like, I take the speakers out to a very nice dinner, and we have a lot of fun during the day leading up to the events. And I think that's really important, rather than just, you know, everyone showing up in their own separate limo and doing the mic check and then going to their own separate rooms. It's, the conversations are ongoing, and yeah, it's just, and this is something that I want to start documenting, all of this, the fun aspects of intellectual discourse, and how people who disagree with each other on so many things can just, they can get along, and we don't need to go outside the war of ideas and start warring with each other like tribal warfare. It's fine to keep this war of ideas within ideas. We don't need to go further than that. We don't need to be showing up like these idiots in balaclavas and masks and hiding their identity and screaming and yelling and bashing people with signs. And I'm speaking about Antifa and these fucked up organizations that want to shut down free speech. It's like, we don't need violence. And you don't need to be so fucking triggered over what you consider to be bad ideas. Why don't you challenge those bad ideas? Have a discussion, make a video. This is what free speech is about. And anyone who tries to challenge that should fuck off. Pang burn, more like poop burn. Oh, wow. Man, you got me there. You must be really into intellectual discourse. I like that you organize these events. Thanks, Thomas. Talking about the Jordan Peterson Vancouver debate, took a long time to upload. Yeah, I mean, we're as far as the timeline's concerned, we're finding we're trying to figure out the proper algorithm as to how soon we should make the events available to the public after, or even to our patrons, because we still want people to buy a ticket to come to the event. We want there to be some incentive to being able to buying the premium ticket and coming to the event and spending the money to get there. Like, we have people traveling all around the world to get to the event, so we don't want to undervalue what it means to travel and be there for the events, because if we don't have audiences and butts in seats, we cannot do these events. Travis, will you give away any tickets for the Day of Reflection for free? Will it be streamed? So Day of Reflection, we will do a ticket discount lottery, like we always do for our high price events, and everyone will be able to apply. And that lottery will be roughly for about, it'll probably be at like a 50% discount or something along those lines. So yeah, we always try to do a lottery like that. Any plans to host events in India or China? Yes. A new project I'm working on at Penguin Philosophy is this event model that's going to allow people who suffer from immense poverty to be able to attend live intellectual events like this. And I've already started working with our Canadian representative in India on an event that I have planned in a very poor part of India, and I have some speakers that are very interested in being involved in that endeavor. So I want to do more humanitarian acts like that, and give access to this content and these events to everyone on this planet, and have more happening. And yeah, there are some countries that would never allow things like this. So um, I'm looking forward to exploring that more. But yes, India and China, definitely. So the Harris Peterson events are video, not just audio. Yeah, I hope to be able to offer a pay-per-view, Super Dave, at some point. Um, as long as it can be sustainable, man, I'm happy to do whatever I can to get this content out there as quickly as possible. One thing too that everyone should consider as well is that the content is the property of not just Penguin Philosophy, but of the speakers as well and their teams. So there's a lot of different negotiating partners that come into play when it comes to um, when the content should be released, if the content should be released. There has been content in the past where one party is game to have it released, the other party isn't. So there's a lot of negotiation happening in that. And sometimes it's, a speaker doesn't feel good about how they represented themselves. And this happens at live events where, they just feel like they didn't have a good night, or they wake up the next day and they're like, how could I have not let that slide? How did I not go to this point where I always go to, and I didn't represent my brand well? But usually in the end, that goes away, that fades away, and they say, well, that's just part of the game, and the content is released. And yeah, I just thought I should clarify that. Aaron Van O's, for how long will the paywall for the remaining 2 Peterson Harris talks be there? As long as we need to have it there to get to a certain level financially, but it's looking like probably 2 or 3 weeks around that timeline. Can't say for sure. Anyways, again, if you guys feel like supporting the creation of this content, please consider it. And you can find out more about Penguin Philosophy at penguinphilosophy.com. I have a podcast on there. If anyone's interested in being on the podcast, we are going to be doing some rapid fire podcasts with fans. So if anyone's interested in being on, just send us an email, again, at admin@penguinphilosophy.com. But you can support all of this if you go to patreon.com/Pangburn. And yeah, appreciate all your guys' support, and I appreciate you guys stopping by to chat with me today. I'll be doing this more often, just to keep the lines of communication open. So thank you guys. Your logo looks like a guy bending over. I designed it that way. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll chat soon.